We're joined now in studio by Professor Laura Guertin. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So I want to talk about the work you're doing with this intersection between arts and sciences. At what point did you realize you were going to need to come up with creative ways of engaging your students and the general public?
It was pretty early on when I was teaching. So at my campus within Penn State University, I teach introductory level geoscience courses for non-science majors. And so I'm at the bottom of the priority and to-do list for my students. And so trying to find ways to get them engaged in and out of the classroom and getting them to see the relevance and importance of why geoscience matters to their everyday life, I looked to communications organizations and different strategies to bring that into my classroom to get students involved.
Can you talk about some of the strategies that you've used, some of the creative ways that you're trying to get them excited about science?
So one of the ways is using projects that involve audio. So for example, this semester I've been doing a voicemail project with my students where they're learning about a particular topic. In my climate class this semester, we've been following the COP conference, the Conference on Parties by United Nations, and looking at those climate discussions and what the pledges are moving forward, and having my students actually practice speaking about science through the mode of pretending they're recording a voicemail for someone. So that way it's getting them practicing speaking about the discipline.
So they just record themselves, they pretend it's a voicemail, and what are they trying to convey? What kind of information?
So it's not a scientific report. I really want students to be able to develop a narrative and storytelling skills because, again, my students are not going to be future scientists, but they are going to have the ability to make decisions about their lives, their purchasing, and where they live, and to be able to share information that they learn. So that's why the voicemail project is so perfect, because it allows them to tell a story, share a narrative about a particular geoscience topic.
What other creative endeavors have you done over the years?
So I've actually brought yarn and fabric into communicating geoscience as well. So I've been crocheting temperature scarves and temperature blankets where we look at daily maximum temperature values for a particular location over a year, and then have 365 rows that represent temperature difference for a location. I've also been looking at how we can use quilts as a mode to tell stories about science.
How are you encouraging your professional colleagues to come up with creative endeavors as well as a way to reach out to their students and reach out to the general public?
The first step is to show them what I've been doing in the classroom to start with, because it is a little different than what you would find in a typical science course. But then, most importantly, is sharing the impact it's having on the students. And we're even seeing students asking instructors in future classes in other disciplines, can I do this type of project? Can I do audio? Can I do something that involves crafting? Which is not something that typically other instructors have done. So the momentum is really coming and is driven by the students.
That's great. And do you have a creative ideas for what you're planning to do next?
Oh my goodness, so many ideas and not enough time, unfortunately. But I do want to continue having students not do these assignments independently, but have it be collaborative and have the group to come together and create it, because I think those group conversations and collaborations are really going to enhance their skill development, and again, building some transferable skills, no matter what discipline they're pursuing, and come up with some really effective communication.
Professor Laura Guertin, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.